I would say once my oldest got to be about like 3, 4, maybe, when it became like, oh, you're really triggering me in certain ways. Like
Mhm.
my yelling
Mm.
came out, and I would be like, you sound just like your mom. Like I would
Mm.
be like, I just sound like my mom. And like I hated that part of me. And um, but I didn't know how to stop it. Like I
Yeah.
didn't know how to stop it until with my third, got diagnosed with postpartum anxiety.
Mm.
She was like, I actually was I'm not sure if you're familiar with Erica DeJosa,
Yeah.
Happy as a Mother.
Mhm.
So she has a membership. I don't know if she still has it. And I was in her membership, which was just like amazing. And she was actually the one who told me that. She was like, oh, the rage, that's anxiety. That's postpartum anxiety.
Mm.
Um, I was
Because
like,
she is like she's a
she's a therapist.
brand,
Yes,
but she's
yes,
also a therapist. She's
correct.
licensed. Yes.
She's
Okay.
yes, yes. And
Hmm.
so um no one had ever told me that. I was like,
Mm.
oh, wait, what? What do you
Yeah.
mean? I'm just mean. I'm just like, I was just like, I'm just not a good mom. I'm just mean.
Mm.
I have no patience.
Yeah.
Um, and she was like, nope, you have anxiety.
Talk though, it almost seems like, and you will correct me if I'm wrong because I just met you 15 minutes ago, but it almost seems like when I picture who I'm talking to the version of me 3, 4 years ago. And it almost seems like maybe you are talking to the younger version of your mom. Like
Yeah.
you want to help who you were, but just hearing you talk about your mom and her experience and just not having access to help. Like there wasn't Instagram when
Right.
she was raising you. There wasn't Erica from Happy as a Mother with a community that you could just join for however much money. Like, does that sit with you? Like you're
Yes.
just trying to help who your mom was, decades ago.
Yes, absolutely. Because I do, and that is one of the things I do like to really talk about in my content. I am constantly like, I get that there is like a financial privilege that I have that you might not have. And so like let's still figure it out. Like I said, I'm like a sliding scale therapist,
Yeah.
like well, okay, how can we like look at your budget? Okay, you need to go and like get on a medication. Like, okay, maybe my insurance doesn't cover that. Okay, how can we, now there's like apps and there's like different things
Yeah.
you can do. Um or with help. I talk a lot about like hiring mother's helpers, which are younger babysitters. So that
Hmm.
it's way more affordable.
Hmm.
Um, so I never thought of that. You really hit the nail on the head. I really am talking, I think, to my mom because I do recognize that there are a lot of barriers that
Yeah.
she faced that I don't currently face.
Right.
Okay?
And
Even the ones who are like the most fulfilled, they need something beyond it. Like they need something beyond motherhood
it's good to
because
hear.
I think, and I've talked a lot about this when I was fully stay at home. I You do not get uh as a society of motherhood, it is frowned upon to be bragging about your motherhood accomplishments.
Mm.
So when you need something to make you feel proud, like, oh, if you potty trained your 2-year-old and you like felt like you did like this great job at it and you read all the books and you did the research and they had a great time and it's done now and it's like, yes, I've met this goal. And you can't tell other people like, oh my God, you guys are just potty training my 2-year-old. I did it in this really cool way. I made this awesome people will tear how dare you shame mothers who are not doing that. And like,
Yeah.
so unfortunately,
Mm.
really almost needs something that is photography, scrapbooking, playing the ukulele, tarot reading,
Right.
uh cycling, running, being
Yeah.
a runner, to be like, look at this accomplishment I did.
Yeah.
Not
That's a
And
really
you probably don't know that many people in your own real life who are content creators, right? I have one other person in my life who's a content creator.
hmm
Majority of people are non-content creators. They're
right.
the commenters
Right.
of the world.
Yeah.
So that's also when you've never presented content to the world, you're the only one who, the rest of the world doesn't know what it
Yes.
feels like to get dragged in the comments.
Yeah.
So that's such a big part of it. And it's hard. That's hard to convey. That's hard
Yep.
to convey to people
Hmm.
that I'm not I'm not trying to create an illusion. I don't have thick skin for the comments. Like I
Yeah.
just don't have the skin for the comment section. And
Mhm.
so that part of it too, I think it's very, Twilight Zone, Black Mirror of us just constantly being presented only good things because people want to come even at the good things, people want to make
Yeah.
negative
You can't
comments.
win either way. Yeah. I
Yes, yes.
interviewed and I was like, if I don't know that and if I'll include this part of the video, but like I was just like raising my hands, just like I just relate so much to everything you're saying, and I talk about this a lot. It's like there is a whole mental health aspect of creating content that is really, really hard to understand unless you've put yourself out there in a public
Yes.
way, whether you have 10 followers or 10 million followers. It doesn't matter.
Genuinely, if you are listening right now and you're not a content creator, think about the pieces of content that have ever had the most impact on you. I guarantee you it wasn't somebody's aesthetically pleasing,
Right.
mantle where they showed you how to put up some little branches for Thanksgiving. It was probably the mom who, did the selfie of her crying in the car with the kid, and was like, "Oh my gosh, I just slammed my kid's finger in the door and I forgot everyone's lunch," and like,
Yeah.
like whatever. And people were like, I can't believe you're posting that. But that's what affected people more.
Right.
That's what
Yep.
helped them more.
Yep. Yep.
And then he and I then, once he puts the kids to bed, we could come together for good times because I've now decompressed.
Yeah.
I am now not like, like he comes in, if I'm cooking, when he comes in now, the train schedules have changed. So he now gets home usually at 5:30. So it's, earlier than it used to be. And I'm usually still cooking dinner. And like if he starts, I'm like, I can't even talk to you. Like I'm so, and
Right.
he knows for the most part. He's like, is there anything I can do to help you? He'll be like, can I clean this part over here? I'm like, nah, you're in my way. Like, but then when we regroup at around 8 p.m., you know,
Yeah.
he can grab my butt and I'm not like, gonna punch him in the face. He gets a nicer he gets his nice wife.
Yeah.
So I think that's part of it too is my husband is very analytical, he's very logical, and I think it just early on he really realized like, oh, well this benefits me. If I can do this, if
Mhm.
I can give her time to go off and like relax for a little bit, it will benefit me greatly in the end.